Our line in, our bowl, the inlet fitting, my float, we talked about floats, the hinge, my needle and seat beyond that, right? Okay. And previously we had said that maybe you want to keep the fuel level at the bottom of the threads for a street car or for a driver, okay? Now,
I got this old 4160. It's a 600. It's an old carburetor. I'm going to try and fix it up and see if I can use it on the 56. When I got it started last time, it was leaking fuel everywhere. I think the body's cracked on that other carburetor or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm kind of polishing some of the linkages up. It was pretty corroded. I think I'd put this one in a bucket of that rust restore stuff. And it really worked good, but anyway.
I start to spill fuel out, okay? But I can get a feel for it by lowering my fuel level down.
Quiet out here, man. I don't want to make any noise. Somebody will hear me talking to myself and answering myself. That's the problem. Okay, I got this camera pointed at me where I can actually see the screen. It's weird how when you look at yourself in the camera, you're like, who the hell is that guy? Oh, shit, it's me. So, yeah, Darren, those heads would be awesome, dude. That was always a concern, I always wanted to have a fast car, but I guess what I want to say is a fast car to the realms of tunability for the street. I mean, it's hard enough just to build them without having to, have them set up perfect to run if you can run it on the street, and that's just not what I want to do. Maybe one day build a race car. That'd be not a real badass car, but something. That'd be pretty cool. I always thought that Chevelle up on the hill there would be a neat one to do something with. Me and Dylan maybe one day. I don't know. There's there's tracks everywhere, but just try to keep him focused on doing the right kind of stuff, if that makes any sense, instead of getting in trouble or whatever. But yeah, that would be sweet. Main goals for that car, one day I'd love to paint it, and but for right now, I just, I can dig with the old patina on it, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking at some point, I always wanted to have nitrous, so maybe I'll try to build, something that can handle some spray, because it's just so much fun. And I don't want to modify the car too much, but, it needs a lot of work. The Chevelle's pretty much, that thing's, it's solid all the way up, you know what I mean? That 56 needs a lot of everything. But, chip away on it. Be nice to have a big block in that thing. And when I ran the fuel system, I ran it on the outside of the frame rails because of exhaust heat and clearance to the headers, and I didn't really do that with the brake lines. I mean, it'd be easy enough to change around if I needed to, but I don't know if I'm going to have to worry about heating up the brake line, but anyway, that was a cool video. That crank was wicked, that one you got in your shop. Jeez, man. Almost looked like it was covered in that non-stick cookware stuff. I mean, slippery, you know what I mean? But Big Pa said he had a 427 crank, steel crank, and I remember he told me he had some stuff still, and I might talk to him about that and see if I can somewhere down the road find a 454 somewhere. And that would be neat. And then I could try to piece together something. My friend had a 55 with 454 in it. I think he had a turbo 400. And I want to say he had a Chrysler rear end in it. And they kind of mini tubbed it. They cut the wheel well and just scabbed it open some, and then made it look kind of factory. They did a good job on it. And he had 300 horse nitrous set up in the car. It was fun watching him run down the track. I rode with him a couple times in that car. It was a lot of fun, you know. It's that seat in the pants feel, you know. You just can't, once you get it, it's like that nitrous when he hit the button. It was like it was leaking into the car because we were laughing the whole time. And I remember we were doing a run by my house, and the passenger's racing seat wasn't bolted in, so it was just kind of floating around in there. So I was just like kind of a weeble wobble in that thing, holding on to the cage. He had a big cage in that car. And anyway, that was fun. But after that, you know, I always kind of wanted a nitrous button and something. And anyway, I'm going to see if I can flip you guys around here. I want to see if I can catch some of these lightning bugs for you. Hold on. See if I can just hold it steady. See if you can see any pop up out there. I don't know if it'll catch them or not. I got hummingbirds. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, some funny videos going on lately. I'm gonna have to take some time and see if I can come up with a good title for this one, because, you know, I don't know. I want it to be spicy and attractive. I want to lure people in with a fancy title, if I can, to make up for my boringness. Anyway. I got all these plants here kind of in the way, but yeah, those little lightning bugs are coming out now. Strangest thing on earth, man. I mean, where else do they have lightning bugs, you know? Just strange. What makes them light? I had a jar of them I caught the other day, and they just stopped lighting in the jar. And it seemed to me, I remember as a kid making lanterns out of them. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll keep you updated on whatever's going on. Whoa, did you hear that? Sounded like a frog saying, "Bud. Bud." When I turned 16, the day I turned 16, I went and took my driver's test so I could get my driver's license. And I had a 69 Malibu waiting for me to drive already. My mom had gotten a new car and given my sister her old Formula. It was a 77 Formula Trans Am. And my sister had that Malibu that my dad had fixed up for her, and she gave it to me. So I started kind of messing with that thing, you know, while I was 15, getting ready to start driving. And anyway, all my friends, you know, had cars, and we were all into them. And, you know, there was a place called the Inn of McGee where we used to go and hang out, and it was like a trailhead into the Catalina Mountains. And there would be, on any given weekend night, there would be 35 cars, 40 cars maybe, parked up and along the road, and we would have a keg of beer, you know, hidden behind some rocks or whatever, or have a party, you know, everybody'd be hanging out. And anyway, we would do man, crazy burnouts from the very end of the road, like all the way out. And I mean, there was like people standing along this thin road, and it just was crazy. But my friend had an AMC Hornet, and at the time, I think it had I don't remember what motor it had. It was a small block engine, and at the time it didn't have a posi. It was just a one-wheel rear end. And I remember we put motor oil on that tire, and he just power braked it and got that thing spinning, man. And I remember I was back there holding the car steady, and we could actually peel rubber off the ground that night off of that thing. We were just so stupid and just having so much fun. And anyway, I was thinking about that because HO Motorsports had said something about his friend's Vega, and it made me think of my buddy's Vega, and he had a V8 Vega wagon, and it was trick, man, but he never really ran it much on the street. He was pretty smart, and some of the cars that were really running hard were only, I mean, barely in the 15s, you know what I'm saying, in reality. And at the time, we didn't know, we thought they were a lot quicker. But, actual times and mile per hour are a lot different than what you think something can do. But one guy, Mike, he had it was an older Chevy truck, and it was quick, man. And actually, he was on a episode of Pink's one time. I think it was Pink's. And he was racing that same truck out of Arizona, out of Tucson. It was pretty neat. I thought it was pretty cool. And he still had a big old head of hair on him, which was pretty funny. So, the hood rats are out. Settle down, buddy. Yeah, Enumagee, it was a cool place. There was a bunch of places. Another place we used to cruise is Speedway. Man, there were all kinds of cars on that street. My friend had this old Cheyenne pickup, and it looked just homely as hell, like a farm truck. But boy, that thing could run. Now, whatever that combination they had in that dirty motor really ran good. And we were on the side of the road one day, and this guy it was like a 50s, mid-50s Ford pickup pulled up next to us. That thing was like jet black. It was beautiful. And we started talking to him, and of course back then it was like the big term was, "What you running?" And he kind of looked over and grinned at us, and he reached down under his hood, or his dash. He was still sitting in the driver's seat, and hit a switch or something, and that whole front clip just started nosing over. And it was some kind of wicked looking Ford motor in that thing, and we were just in awe. That was probably what gave me the medicine for wanting to tilt front end on a Chevelle. I may still try that one day. I get a bunch of fenders and a bunch of core supports, and I just have to build a different wiring harness and somehow figure out how to split some of that stuff down to where it tilted properly, where it was actually functional. I think there's a way you can cut the bottom of the rear fenders, or the front fenders. You cut them in half, about, kind of like the Corvettes. One part stationary and the other part moves. I don't know. Hard enough to just get them running. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Buddy's getting scared. The hawks are coming out.